Good morning. As you step outside today, you might notice a crispness in the air that wasn't there just a few days ago. The sun is rising over a landscape painted in golds and reds, and there's a sense of anticipation, because something big is on the horizon. Big changes are coming to the eastern US as autumn's chill finally arrives. After weeks of mild weather, the region is about to experience a dramatic shift. Families are pulling out their cozy sweaters, and parks are filling with people eager to enjoy the last warm days before the real cold sets in. The vibrant colors of fall are at their peak, but soon, the leaves will be swirling in the wind as temperatures drop. The weather pattern is shifting, bringing a series of cool downs that will make it feel more like late autumn. You'll notice the wind picking up, skies turning gray, and a definite bite in the air. People are reaching for jackets and scarves, and outdoor plans are starting to change as everyone prepares for the new season. This isn't just a quick cold snap. Expect a persistent drop in temperatures from New England to the Carolinas. Daytime highs will be noticeably lower, and overnight lows could dip close to freezing in some areas. For many, this will be the first real taste of winter, and it's a reminder to get those heavier coats out of storage. Major atmospheric patterns are lining up to funnel chilly Canadian air southward. A strong jet stream is steering cold fronts right into the heart of the eastern US, and with each passing day, the air will feel a little sharper. These changes are part of a larger shift that could set the tone for the rest of the season. You might even wake up to frost on the grass or find yourself scraping ice from your windshield in the mornings. The transition from fall to winter is happening fast, and it's catching some by surprise. If you're planning outdoor activities, be ready for blustery conditions and soaking rains, especially along the coast. Strong winds and heavy downpours could make travel tricky, and coastal areas are especially vulnerable to sudden changes in weather. It's a good idea to keep an umbrella and raincoat handy just in case. Layer up, temperatures will swing, and a powerful coastal storm could disrupt weekend plans. Forecasters are watching closely as this system develops, and there's potential for strong winds, high surf, and even localized flooding in some spots. If you live near the shore, pay close attention to weather alerts and be ready to adjust your plans. We'll break down the timing, impacts, and what you need to know to stay prepared. From when the first raindrops will fall to how long the cold will last, we've got you covered with the latest updates and tips for staying safe and comfortable. Now is the perfect time to check your supplies, make sure your home is ready for colder weather, and plan some cozy indoor activities for the days ahead. Whether you're a fan of autumn storms or prefer to stay warm inside, there's something for everyone as this new weather pattern takes hold. Let's dive into the details of this major weather shift and see what's in store for your area in the coming days. Let's talk about the big players, teleconnections, those global weather patterns that shape our climate. The three to watch this month: the Arctic Oscillation, AO, North Atlantic Oscillation, NAO, and Pacific North American Pattern, PNA. Each has two phases, and when they align just right, they can open the door for cold air to flood the east. The dream setup for cold: negative AO, negative NAO, and positive PNA. This combination creates a superhighway for Arctic air into the eastern US. That's exactly what's developing as we move through October. We'll break down how each pattern works and why this alignment means a major cool down. By the end, you'll know what's driving your weather. Let's unlock the forecast together. The Arctic Oscillation, or AO, is like a gate at the North Pole. In its positive phase, strong winds keep cold air locked up north, giving us milder weather. But when the AO turns negative, that gate breaks down, letting Arctic air spill south into the US. This month, the AO is forecast to plunge negative and stay there for over a week. That's a strong signal for a prolonged cool down across the east. The negative AO is the first domino, setting the stage for a steady supply of chilly air. It's not just a one-day event. Expect a persistent chill. The cold is coming, and the AO is leading the charge. Next up, the North Atlantic Oscillation, or NAO. When the NAO is negative, a high-pressure block forms over Greenland, forcing the jet stream to dive south. This Greenland block redirects cold Arctic air straight into the eastern US. The NAO is also trending negative, working with the AO to deliver a 1-2 punch of cold. This setup ensures the chill digs in and sticks around. It's a classic pattern for sustained cold, even though it's only autumn. The negative NAO is the second key to this major weather shift. Together, these patterns guarantee a deep, lasting cool down. The Pacific North American Pattern, or PNA, is the final piece in the puzzle of our shifting weather. While many people are familiar with terms like El Niño or the polar vortex, the PNA is a lesser-known but equally powerful driver of North American climate. It acts as a kind of atmospheric switch, determining which coast basks in warmth and which one shivers in the cold. Understanding the PNA is crucial for meteorologists as it helps explain why weather can be so dramatically different from one side of the continent to the other. When the PNA is in its positive phase, a strong ridge of high pressure forms over the western United States. This ridge acts like a wall, blocking storms and allowing warm, dry air to dominate the west. Meanwhile, the jet stream is forced to buckle, dipping southward over the central and eastern parts of the country. This shift in the jet stream is what brings dramatic changes to our weather patterns. As the jet stream dips, it opens a direct pathway for cold, Arctic air to surge southward. This isn't just a gentle breeze, it's a powerful, persistent flow of frigid air that can transform mild autumn days into a preview of winter almost overnight. The cold front sweeps across the landscape, bringing with it sharp temperature drops and a noticeable change in the air. Meteorologists are now watching closely as the PNA is about to flip firmly into its positive phase. Once this happens, the pattern is expected to lock in, keeping the east under the influence of a deep, cold trough for an extended period. This isn't just a brief cold snap, it's a sustained pattern that can last for weeks. When the positive PNA teams up with a negative Arctic oscillation and a negative North Atlantic oscillation, meteorologists call this the trifecta. This rare alignment of patterns creates the perfect setup for cold air to dominate the east, while the west enjoys unseasonable warmth. It's a classic case of weather extremes playing out across the continent. As a result, the west coast basks in sunshine and above-average temperatures, with warm, golden sunsets and dry conditions. Meanwhile, the east is left under a persistent trough, which acts like a conveyor belt for cold air, keeping temperatures well below normal and making it feel more like winter than autumn. Starting around the 20th, cold air from Canada and even the Arctic will pour southward, reinforcing the chill. This influx of cold air is expected to be steady and relentless, bringing the first real taste of winter to millions of people along the eastern seaboard and throughout the Midwest. For those hoping for a few more weeks of mild autumn weather, this is the final nail in the coffin. The leaves will fall faster, trees will stand bare, and people will find themselves reaching for heavier coats, scarves, and gloves as the cold settles in for the long haul. The stage is now set for a prolonged chill across the eastern seaboard. Cities from Boston to Atlanta will feel the effects, with frosty mornings, brisk winds, and even the possibility of early-season snow in some areas. The contrast between the two coasts will be striking, a true tale of weather extremes. So, get ready to experience a true taste of late autumn, one that will linger, reminding us all of the power and unpredictability of our planet's atmosphere. Before the deep cold arrives, a major coastal storm is brewing off the southeast coast. This isn't a hurricane, but it will bring strong winds and heavy rain from the Carolinas to New England. The storm will linger offshore through the weekend, making for a messy, blustery few days. Coastal areas face the biggest impacts: flooding, beach erosion, and power outages. Inland, expect periods of heavy rain and gusty winds, especially Sunday and Monday. This storm helps draw in the first wave of cooler air. As it pulls away, a brief warm-up follows before the real cold sets in. If you're anywhere from Charleston to Boston, prepare for rough weather. Stay updated and keep your rain gear handy. The coastal storm will drench the Atlantic coast from the Carolinas to the mid-Atlantic. Interior areas stay mostly dry, but the west gets a series of storms, bringing much-needed rain to the Pacific Northwest and Northern California. The northern plains and upper Midwest will also see stormy weather and above-average precipitation. In the west, mountain snow arrives early. Expect a foot or more in the Sierra Nevada, Cascades, and Rockies. This sets up a great base for ski season. In the east, snow is unlikely, except for a few flurries on the highest peaks of New York and New Hampshire. Mount Washington could see some light accumulation. Winter's first hints are here, especially in the mountains. Welcome to your comprehensive October temperature timeline, designed to help you plan every day of the month with confidence. As we move into the heart of autumn, temperature swings become more dramatic, and knowing what to expect can make all the difference for your outdoor plans, wardrobe choices, and even your mood. Let's break down what you can expect, week by week, as the season transitions from the lingering warmth of early fall to the first real hints of winter. This weekend marks the first significant cool down of the month. Expect overcast skies, steady rain, and a noticeable drop in temperatures. The combination of damp air and chilly breezes will make it feel even colder than the thermometer suggests. So be sure to grab your raincoat and a warm layer if you're heading out. Streets will be slick with puddles and fallen leaves, creating that classic autumn atmosphere, but also a reminder to take it slow on your morning commute. As we move into early next week, the coastal storm system finally moves out, allowing for a brief but welcome warm-up. Skies will begin to clear, especially along the coast, and you'll notice the sun breaking through the clouds. Mornings may still be crisp, but afternoons will feel noticeably milder, perfect for a walk along the shoreline or a morning coffee outside. By midweek, the weather settles into a stretch of classic, mild autumn days. This is your golden window to enjoy the outdoors. Parks will be filled with vibrant fall foliage, and outdoor cafes will be bustling with people soaking up the last of the season's gentle warmth. Take advantage of this period for any outdoor activities, because it's likely the last time you'll be comfortable in just a light jacket before the real cold sets in. Around the 18th, keep an eye out for a backdoor cold front sweeping down from the north. This weather system will bring a sharp drop in temperatures, gusty winds, and a return to that brisk, invigorating autumn air. You'll notice clouds thickening and leaves swirling through the streets as the front moves in, signaling the start of a new, colder phase for the east. Meanwhile, the central U.S. will experience a very different story. Ahead of a developing plains storm, temperatures here will climb, bringing a spell of unseasonably warm and sunny weather. Fields and open landscapes will bask in golden light, and it's a great time for late-season harvests or outdoor gatherings before the next big change arrives. After the 20th, a major pattern shift takes hold across North America. We'll see a negative Arctic oscillation and North Atlantic oscillation, paired with a positive Pacific North American pattern. In simpler terms, this means colder air will be locked in across the east, while the west and central regions may see brief warm spells. Meteorologists will be tracking these changes closely as they set the stage for the rest of the season. As we approach the final week of October, expect a prolonged cold spell to settle in. Mornings will be frosty, with your breath visible in the air and pumpkins glistening with dew. People will be bundling up in heavier coats, scarves, and gloves as the chill lingers throughout the day. This is the time to break out your coziest fall attire and enjoy the crisp, invigorating air. With Halloween approaching, plan on dressing warmly for trick-or-treating. Costumes will need to be layered over sweaters and jackets, and families will be out in the evening chill, making memories despite the cold. The festive spirit will be undampened, but this year, the chill is here to stay, so bundle up and enjoy the spooky fun. By the end of October, the landscape will look and feel like a true preview of winter. Bare trees, frosty mornings, and even the possibility of an early snowfall will remind us that the cold season is just around the corner. So, as you plan your month, keep this guide handy and stay ahead of the changing weather. The bottom line: October in the east will be defined by a lasting shift to colder weather. The mild days are ending, replaced by a powerful alignment of atmospheric patterns delivering the chill. First, a potent coastal storm brings rain and wind from the Carolinas to New England. After a brief warm-up, the real cold arrives and sticks around through Halloween. If you're heading outdoors, pack extra layers. Frosts will become common, even in the south. Mountain trips could bring a chance of snow at higher elevations. The days will be crisp, the nights cold, and late autumn will arrive in full force. October is shaping up to be active and interesting. Embrace the chill. That's your latest weather update.